Golden State Warriors News Today channel. Take the opportunity to leave that like and subscribe to the channel. Let's go to today's news.
Do you think Kevin Knox still has gas in the tank to make a difference in the NBA? Well, the Golden State Warriors seem to think so, and they've decided to bet on the forward until the end of the season. This is the Warriors News Fan Update, and today's news shows how an open roster spot and a solid performance can reopen doors in the most competitive league on the planet. After two 10-day contracts, Kevin Knox finally secured his spot on Steve Kerr's roster. Since he couldn't sign another temporary deal, the Warriors acted quickly and offered him a contract through the end of the season. With two open spots and the NBA requirement to have at least 14 players under guaranteed contracts, Knox was chosen to fill that space. But this isn't just a formality. In 7 games between February and March, Knox showed flashes of his potential, averaging 4 points, 1.6 rebounds, and shooting 45.8% from the field. Nothing spectacular, but enough to keep the dream alive of becoming relevant again in an NBA rotation. Today, Knox is the 14th man on the roster. And with one spot still available and some wiggle room under the salary cap, the Warriors could still bring in another player before the playoffs. For now, Knox stays on a minimum contract, about $263,000, and will be an unrestricted free agent at the end of the season. But how did he get here? Knox, the 9th overall pick in the 2018 draft by the New York Knicks, has already bounced around several franchises: Knicks, Hawks, Pistons, Trail Blazers, and even had a brief stint with the Jazz, where he was waived in early 2024. Before getting called up by the Warriors, he was playing for the Santa Cruz Warriors in the G League, where he posted impressive numbers: 25.3 points and 8.8 rebounds over 12 games. In other words, he made the most of the Development League showcase to prove he still has something to offer. Now the question is, can Kevin Knox find a new beginning in San Francisco? Will he surprise everyone and carve out a spot in the Warriors rotation? If you like this update and want to keep up with everything going on behind the scenes with the Golden State Warriors, make sure to subscribe to the Warriors News Fan Update channel and turn on notifications. That way, you won't miss any news about our team's next steps. And look, as a fan, I feel torn. On one hand, we know Kevin Knox hasn't lived up to the potential many saw in him back in the 2018 draft. He came into the league with hype, physical tools, and nice shooting touch, but just didn't find his fit. On the other hand, this could be the exact moment where the Warriors turn another one of these stories into something special. We've seen it happen before. Players who were counted out find a new home, a new purpose, and manage to reinvent themselves within the Golden State system. With Steve Kerr surrounded by a winning culture and teammates who know how to share the ball, maybe Knox can finally take off. And there's another interesting detail: the Warriors aren't just filling out the roster here. They still have one open spot. And the front office is eyeing players who can truly contribute, whether now or in the near future. If Knox can show defensive energy, commitment, and keep scoring efficiently, he might surprise even the biggest skeptics. Meanwhile, he gets to practice alongside players like Steph Curry and Draymond Green, and that alone is a learning opportunity most players only dream of. The season is winding down, and every minute on the court could mean an extension, a new opportunity, or even the revival of a career that once seemed to be over too soon. Now I want to hear from you, Warriors fans. Do you think Kevin Knox can break through wearing the Golden State jersey? Or do you believe the franchise should use that final spot to go after another name on the market? And honestly, speaking as a Warriors fan, I like the gamble on Kevin Knox. It's not every day you find a young player with elite physical tools, NBA experience, and a hunger to prove himself. He might not have shined in his previous stops, but we know the Warriors system has the power to resurrect careers. We've seen it before, and it's not too far-fetched to imagine it happening again. What excites me is that he didn't give up. Even after bouncing from team to team, getting traded and waived, he went to the G League, dominated in Santa Cruz, and stayed ready to seize any chance. Now he has a real opportunity to show he can contribute in a playoff rotation, even if it's just in small doses. Of course, he still needs to show consistency, especially on defense and decision-making. But with Steve Kerr leading and veterans like Steph, Draymond, and Wiggs guiding him, who's to say we won't see Knox making an impact at the most critical point in the season? And if it doesn't work out, that's fine. It was a minimum deal, no risk. But if it does work, man, we might have found an unexpected piece who can help now, and maybe even in the future. Do you think Knox deserves this chance? Or was it just a mandatory move by the front office? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And of course, if you enjoyed this video and want more honest updates with that true fan energy, subscribe to the Warriors News Fan Update channel, hit the bell, and leave a like. And look, being real with you, this final stretch of the season might be the perfect time to test new pieces like Knox. The rotation has had its ups and downs, and any player who can bring energy, rebounding, and scoring off the bench is more than welcome. What gives me hope is seeing how hard he worked in the G League, averaging 25 points and nearly 9 rebounds. That doesn't happen by accident. He could have easily thrown in the towel after being waived by so many teams, but no, he got to work, and now he's here again, wearing the Warriors jersey. That says a lot about his character and mindset. And those are exactly the values that define the culture here in Golden State. The truth is, even if he doesn't become a key piece right now, this signing shows that the front office is still dialed in and making smart choices. They're not just filling a spot, they're keeping the door open for those willing to fight, and as a fan, that makes me proud. And let's be real, seeing someone wear the blue and gold with a hunger to make history, even after hitting rock bottom, always touches the heart of the fan base. So, Dub Nation, the ball's in your court now. Do you think Kevin Knox could be a positive surprise in this final stretch? Or should the team look for someone with a more immediate impact? Leave your take in the comments, and let's have this conversation like we always do, with passion, respect, and that deep love for our team. And hey, Dub Nation, it's stories like this that keep the magic of basketball alive. The Warriors are more than just a team of superstars. They're a team of new beginnings, of players who embrace the culture of teamwork, effort, and resilience. Kevin Knox might not be a name that excites you at first, but sometimes it's those overlooked names that deliver the season's most unexpected moments. Remember when no one believed in Andrew Wiggins? He came here, found a system that works, had patience, and now he's an NBA champion with us. Why not believe something similar could happen with Knox? He doesn't need to be a savior or a hero. He just needs to do what he does best, with intensity, and make the most of every minute he gets. And that's what makes this part of the season so exciting. Every play counts. Every minute matters. And every decision from the front office can shape the future of this franchise. So stay tuned, because here on Warriors News Fan Update, we'll keep following every step, every move, every story that might or might not change the course of this playoff journey. If you vibe with this real-deal fan energy, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and turn on notifications. The journey is far from over. See you in the next video. And until then, keep believing. Because being a Warriors fan means believing until the end. Let's go Warriors!